Hello out there, it's Chad Dude 2008, and today we'll be talking about Rift. Since the gameplay in the background is of Black Shield, we'll go ahead and use that map as our example. In this review, we'll have 4 sections. The first will be what to do before anyone has the spark. Then, of course, if you have the spark, then if the opposing team has the spark, and finally what you need to do after either the spark runner has been killed or has scored. So, before anyone actually has the spark, you need to control this area. If you're not somewhere around this area, then you're probably not helping your team. You may be thinking, but I'm in their spawn, I'm spawn killing them, I'm keeping them from even getting to that area. But you may actually be doing more harm, but we'll get into that later in the video. Now, if you do control this area, it's a lot easier to be able to grab the spark, get everyone together, and then go for a run. But if you don't control this area, it'll be a lot more difficult. But always go for the spark, because if you get it, that means that the other team can't. Now, that being said, if you do hold this position, if you hold this area, then don't everybody collapse on the spark right whenever it spawns up. I'm sure that there is someone on your team that will, so you probably want to hold the line, let them grab it, and then push forward. If you all go, turn your backs, and all go into the spark, you are more likely to get killed, which is not the point. Now you have the spark. What should you do with it? There are several different strategies. You can run, you can push, you can flank, or you can fake. Running is what most people do. They grab the spark and immediately sprint for the rift. This isn't the most tactical way, and it's usually done whenever it's a group of randoms. It can work sometimes, but if you're up against a skilled group of people, it's probably not going to work. Pushing is a little bit more tactical. You want to grab the spark, wait for your team to come and lead you, and then go on your way to the rift. This is different from running because you will have your team as an escort on the way to the rift. You'll have a lot better chance of actually getting there with them being your meat shields. This also brings up the point, if someone else grabs the spark, don't just leave them hanging. Your team has a lot better chance of winning if you go and lead that spark runner to the rift. Now, flanking is when you have most of your team go one way toward the rift, and the spark runner and maybe one other person takes a longer, wide route to the rift. On Black Shield, this is actually very difficult because where the rift is located, you will be seen on the radar. It may not be advisable on this particular map, but you get the idea. You try to trick them into thinking that the spark runner is with the rest of the group when actually it's coming from behind. Now, third is what I call a fake. This is a mix between a push and a flank. What you would want to do is have your team escort you most of the way there. Then show yourself to the enemy team so they think that you are with the rest of the group right there. Then you need to quickly run a flank route to trick the opposing team. The flank route has to be ran very quickly so that they don't get suspicious of if you're still there or not. Once you have either scored the spark into the rift or your spark runner has died, you need to get back to the spark location so you can set up that perimeter and go at it again. But one thing you do not want to do is sit in their spawn. What will happen is they will start spawning in other locations like these and will actually be closer to the spark. You're putting your team at a disadvantage by spawn killing, which is what I was trying to say earlier. Now, what if the other team gets the spark? First off, if you cannot kill them immediately, You want everyone to come back to your rift. You want to be watching all of the choke points. This way, you can have 2 or 3 people on each choke point, and because of the tactical advantage you have in the choke point, those 2 or 3 people can go up against 4 or 5. This being said, do not go through the choke points. They have to come through to get to the rift. You do not have to rush in there and try to kill them all. It's not going to happen. Especially if they're a skilled team. Most of the team is going to be back there and they will annihilate you. And now, after their team either scores or dies, you need to go back to the spark location so you can set up that perimeter so that you can get the spark next time. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.